This video is about idiopathic vestibular disease in a blind cat. This is Muffin. She was born in 2001. I've had her since 2006. This is April of 2019. We are first noticing she is not seeing very well, and her vet diagnosed her with hypertension causing blindness. We put her on amlodipine, which decreases her hypertension and prevents further damage, but she's pretty much completely blind. She's learned to navigate our house using her whiskers, and we installed ramps to get her up on the couch and the bed. This is April of 2020. She is having a vestibular event. This lasted for about 10 minutes, and we took her to the emergency vet. This time, they confirmed the hypertension due to leaky heart valves and saw signs of chronic kidney disease. They had no explanation for her vestibular event, thus the diagnosis of idiopathic vestibular disease. Over the next few months, she had about 6 such events, none lasting longer than 5 minutes, until July. Here on July 6th, she is having a massive vestibular event. This one did not seem to end. By early morning, we had consulted with our vet, and she gave us 3 doses of dexamethasone, but with the warning that we should be prepared to put her down. She thought Muffin had a brain lesion of some kind and thought the steroid would help. After the first dose, Muffin calmed down enough to sleep for a few hours. She was able to lift her head enough to eat and drink if we put it right in front of her face. Otherwise, she laid on her right side. If you tried to place her on her left side, she would immediately flip over to the right. We believe she felt like she was falling to the left and was trying to compensate. With most cats, when their vestibular system goes out, they have no sense of balance. However, they can use their vision to get orientated and usually recover well enough to get around within a few days. Since Muffin can't see, she would only use her proprioception to orientate. Most of the information I read said she would never recover.
What's she doing? Can we go on the other side? Let's go on the other side. There you go. And back over.
However, every day Muffin got better. After one day, she was able to hold her head up. After a few more days, you could lay her on her left side without her immediately flipping over. Some days she stayed the same, but most days she was just a little bit better. One of my mentors likes to say, animals that get better, get better. Since she was headed in the right direction, we kept going. Her appetite was great, and when we cuddled her, she purred loud and clear. She wasn't ready to give up, so neither were we. Since the dexamethasone had helped, our vet gave us a dose of debilitating, a steroid that lasts 6 weeks. The litter box was a big challenge because she couldn't hold herself up, much less navigate to the litter box. Fortunately, my husband was at home due to the pandemic, so he was able to place her in the litter box every few hours. At first, we tried to hold her up in a peeing position, but eventually we just set her in the box and she would go laying down, which was much less stressful than trying to hold her up in the loose litter. By some miracle and our constant attention, we didn't have a single accident in the first month. As time went by, Muffin got a little better, holding her head up, laying on her left side, eventually belly crawling, and finally, after a month, starting to walk. Here's where we finally got into litter box issues. Now that she could walk, she would walk straight out of the litter box when we would put her in. However, she seemed to be unable to navigate the house she learned to go through blindly, like everything had changed. She would wander around for a little while, eventually finding a throw rug and would go there. After washing the rugs many times, we gave up and just put pee pads down in their place and added a couple more litter boxes. Here's where we really had to pay attention to her and where she was going and what changes were affecting her. It took a couple of weeks, but eventually she figured out how to find the litter boxes.
Good job. You got it. Good girl. You stay here. No, Daniel.
This is November, so about 4 months after Muffin's big event. We have continued to give her Depo-Medrol every 6 weeks, and she hasn't had a single vestibular event. She still has a head tilt, but she is doing much better navigating, using her whiskers to get around, and has even learned how to use her ramps again to get up and down from the couch and bed. I think we were very fortunate that we were able to give her a lot of attention and nurse her through the first several weeks and see her almost fully recover. So my message to those of you seeing this in your cats is, don't give up. She looked terrible, and even our vet was advising us to put her down, but she made it. I'm not sure how much more time we'll have with her. After all, she is 19 with leaky heart valves and chronic kidney disease, but I'm enjoying every cuddle and every purr and feeling very blessed for having this extra time with her.